We are back in another episode presented to you by Monologue Studios, where football nutmegs the nonsense. Wow, what a weekend to start this pod, man. What's happened, man? We've gone from two teams that respectively unbeaten runs have finally ended, yeah, man. So I don't know, Kugan, how you feel about it, but I mean, of course, it's like even in some of the previous episodes you did mention, right, that it's all bound to happen. And of course, speaking of Liverpool, Liverpool, what's happened, man? So is it they were having a pretty good good unbeaten run. I mean, majority of it being draws in the league, and well, of course, they probably still feel unbeaten emotionally. and of course, we're going to cover some topics on Liverpool as well. So you're not alone, yeah. You're not alone, yeah. To all you Liverpool fans, and of course, moving to Arsenal, unbeaten run ended by Manchester United. Well, I mean, we're going to touch on those on those games as well. Yeah, but it's been a while since United beat Arsenal at the Emirates. Yeah, it's been long.
Beat general.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So beating Arsenal at the Emirates, I think was as I remember, again, I could be wrong, but the match where I can't recall the score line, but Jesse Lingard did his dance.
Yeah, and called it the dance.
Yeah.
Pogba was still playing, so we're talking about 2018.
Exactly.
United, I think.
I think so. And or maybe, yeah, I think so. It's that time. Yeah, so help us recall.
Should be the Mourinho time.
Yeah. It could have been that time, lah. So some nonsense topics, right? That I can't believe this was in fact I'm not saying a debate, lah, but when Wayne Rooney was asked by Theo Walcott, United's 2008 squad versus the United's 2008 squad, could they beat Arsenal's current
all
squad?
Day, man. All day.
It's an unfair question.
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
Unfair question. Yeah.
And I mean, struck on when the way Wayne Rooney replied, it's a clear cut. No way. It's no way, right? That's what Wayne Rooney said. But of course, just joke only. This one, United's 08 squad versus the United's 2026 squad. I think, Arsenal kind of struggled to beat them, if I'm being honest. Sorry, joke only.
Jack, we had a major off day.
Man, what
major off January in that sense, since we had that topic.
But to a certain extent, I thought it was coming. I didn't expect it to be
it's not sustainable.
Man United.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, and just another banter to poke as well, right? I'm not sure how accurate am I with this stat, but Ruben Amorim took 14 months and 35 games to win back-to-back Premier League matches. But for Michael Carrick, it just took 2 games in 9 days. So we will get into more. I don't know. They are all talking about him as well, right? Probably under Michael Carrick, he might get a haircut very soon, lah. So that having said,
did a good job.
Well, of course, look, banters aside, we do have topics lined up. We'll be covering a little bit on the Liverpool match against Bournemouth over the weekend, and Kuhan. Yeah, so Newcastle may not have had a good evening over the weekend, considering obviously Champions League and all that. But of course, I shouldn't say last but not least, but we will be covering the Arsenal and Manchester United, the mega showdown match last night, yeah. And but of course, before we get into the Premier League matches and all that, just a little addressing on the AFCON. I know it was last week's topic, and of course, Kuhan, welcome back to the pod, man. You were missed for 2 episodes, right? So how was your travels to Japan and all? Was good?
Was good. Was fantastic. The best thing ever.
Nice. So considering that you missed the 2 episodes previously, right? I gotta iron out something, right? So I know that the last post on socials where I think it did drive a lot and a lot of comments when Shariff was talking about the unprofessionalism of the Senegal players. And but of course, rest assured, I mean, before before we get into a bit more depth about it, right? So we like to thank all those who commented.
Yeah.
Some, and those who have reacted to it and all that, we really thank you for that. And I would like to think that in no way we intended to cause any stir, given the obvious fact it's always both sides to look at it, right? But nevertheless, we have Kuhan who would like to also iron out a couple of things on those incidents, right? So just Kuhan, very briefly, very quickly.
Very briefly, I think Senegal were the clear winners.
Mm-hmm.
The whole national team felt they were harassed going into the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Morocco as a host was trying its best to be a very good host, but they were also, the ball boys were harassing a lot of goalkeepers by taking the towel incident. So it was,
And that was instigated by the players themselves.
and the players itself. So it was very annoying actually to see this, and it's the same thing that disrespect Algeria did towards DR Congo, where they disrespected the guy who acted like the statue of DR Congo's former president.
Mm-hmm.
So his name is, I mean, he's known as Lumumba. So he's like this kind of hero for DR Congo. And when the Algerian players scored against Congo, the guy just like mocked him and dropped down like that. It's like,
Right.
wow, why? Like, why you do that? Actually, so I mean, it was great that that later on in the next game, Nigeria player scored the second goal, Echo Adams, and repeated that gesture again to show like respect. So I feel the African Cup of Nations this time was amazing. A lot of I didn't like what is this? The Moroccan players were doing with the towel. You guys saw it, right? How they were
Yep.
harassing and taking out
Exactly.
these and all these
Easy.
things on. And the best part is the Panenka was to embarrass.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. I'm so glad he missed.
It's like there is a footballing god out there, and wow.
But here's the thing, right? I know I brought this up in the previous episode about the Panenka, right? So is it that pressure got the better of Brahim Diaz?
I mean, you're dumb. You're plain dumb.
Yep.
Mhm.
You want to take a Panenka against a top African team on the 90th minute. That was kind of dumb because you normally will
Mhm.
smash it with the pressure and all these things. So I think, and for Edouard Mendy, who's a former Chelsea goalkeeper, to read that actually, it was incredible. I think he just knew this.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, goalkeepers would just choose a side given the entire outcome, right? Like to be safe. But he just stood and just so calm.
Yeah, I mean, but that is a bad. I think Morocco should have won it with the penalty, but because of a dumb decision by a boy
Mhm.
who shamefully let his country down. And kudos to Senegal, who actually played well. They were very angry. They moved. I mean, I think you know what happened. And Mane has to call Sadio Mane, being one of my favorite players ever. So now I think Sadio Mane is the greatest African player ever. I think he beats Mohamed Salah any given day.
Fair, 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 fair.
He
Okay.
won all the
Yeah.
cups in club level, and he won at country level, which Salah
Mhm.
never did it before.
Correct.
I think it's a given.
Agree.
So that's what I want to end on my comments actually, because I think for now the Mane and Salah player, we always have these two camps,
Mhm.
if like Salah is better or Mane is better. I think now Mane is clear cut the
Yeah.
better.
So speaking of Sadio Mane, I know. On a side note, we have had some degree of not debate. I shouldn't use the word debate. More like kind of like conversations, quote and unquote, right? That at that time when Liverpool sold the wrong player in Sadio Mane instead of instead of selling Salah at that time, right? You get a good mix where people say, "No, you're wrong," but at the same time, you also get those who like, "Yeah, you're right." So, in your opinion, do you still stand by that, Kuhan? That
Uh, Before, I think Salah did well the last season
Mhm.
without money, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Of course.
we have to understand. I think I think I repeated this before on the pod.
Mhm.
Actually. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he said that when the match are difficult, that's when Mane will score your goals.
You're right.
That that,
You're
that,
right.
that is a player which wins you championships and everything like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
for me, that is
And the
where
fact that he drops so deep for Senegal,
Mhm.
I mean, okay lah, I've never seen that version of Mane in Liverpool, but like the fact that he was a captain, he dropped deep, he dictates his
he
play.
wasn't
Yeah.
the captain. He wasn't the captain for
Oh, he was
Senegal.
a captain lah. Oh,
They
okay.
they gave him the captain armband to carry the trophy.
See.
The
Right.
captain was
Okay.
someone else actually. On the
Was
field
it?
was substituted. So because he brought back the team and he was so integral to their competition, they gave him the captain's armband for
Mhm.
him to captain. It's amazing gesture, right?
Fair,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I think that's an amazing gesture, lah. Yeah.
I'm so
Cool,
glad they
man.
won it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, okay. I mean, thanks, thanks, Kuhan, for ironing out the other side of it. But of course, for those who, once again, I iterate this, right? For those who have commented and expressed some degree of dissatisfaction towards that post and all that, I'm not here to apologize. However, we are here to let you know that we have gathered the other side of its comments as well. So we hope that you continue following.
We would have came to this eventually, actually, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So so that having said, right? Speaking of Sadio Mane, and I know I did bring up a bit of Liverpool and all that. So kind of like a segue to the next topic on Bournemouth against Liverpool. So match score: Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. What an entertaining game! That
Last minute,
you're talking about never say die attitude. Classic, right? Classic never say die attitude that came at towards the final minute of the injury time, and there you have it, man. Adli scores the winning goal. So Kugan, I know I have to be very careful when I mention Kuhan and Kugan. Yeah, sorry to the viewers. Please excuse us. Yeah, we
name
have
with the same meaning.
the same meaning, almost a similar pronunciation. So just sorry about that. Yeah, in case I mispronounce. However, Kugan, your opinion on the Bournemouth and Liverpool game, considering the loss from Liverpool, right? Unbeaten run has ended. Although when I say unbeaten, look, they have. It's not much of wins, rather draws off late. Yeah, in the league. Okay, we're only focusing on the league now. I know
Of
in
course, of
respects
course.
to the Champions League and all. Just curious, considering this defeat towards the injury time, in your opinion, do you think Liverpool can recover their consistency to stay possibly or potentially in the top 4 mix, given the fact that United, Chelsea, Liverpool, and I'm not sure who's the other one
Villa.
at the bottom, the points, okay, I don't include Aston Villa considering an 8-point gap there, but from Liverpool to United, Chelsea, it's not too far off. So my question to you,
Of course.
Kugan, do you think in these upcoming games for Liverpool, could they or would they recover consistency to stay in the top 4 mix?
I think heading to the business end of the season, right?
Mhm.
Plus, they have had their injury issues slowly resolving. They are getting some players back. Salah's back from AFCON. Ekitike being out is a major blow for them, right? So scoring goals. I mean, of course, speaking on behalf of a team which is struggling to score goals now itself, I see them struggling to achieve that consistency. Plus,
Okay.
yeah.
So you
I think
goal was the problem. Huh? I thought defensively they were the problem actually.
but the moment Ekitike is out, right, it feels like he was the only guy who has an attacking threat. But
Mhm.
now,
Yeah, but they still lose with him.
I mean, at least when he was around, he was scoring goals. He was bailing them out left, right, center. But God, Van Dijk has completely lost it, isn't it?
Speaking of Van Dijk, yeah, Kuhan, your favorite player, Kuhan.
Half of the Liverpool fan thinks he's a legendary defender. And the other half hates his guts. And he's been changing defensive partners like he's been changing girlfriends, man.
Fair.
I think Matip was his best partner.
Yes.
and
But that was
he-
like what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Brother is
Yeah.
retired right now, chilling in Germany. So like,
Konate is off form actually, so he couldn't cover up. Konate is the speedy ones which can cover the line properly, so he doesn't have Konate. Gomez was playing with him this time, so they don't have a lot of defensive options actually.
No,
I
but then
agree.
Kulan, if you realize, right, even him as an individual defender, I feel like he has lost his spark. I mean,
Yeah.
remember we were talking about how much he was the least dribbled centre back in the league. That was a stat at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Now people are passing him. Okay, age
but
is a factor.
I always think that you need to have a good midfield to cover centre backs actually, and I don't think they have that
Fair,
actually. So
fair,
that's why
fair, fair.
it looks like he's making a lot of mistakes. When your central defense make mistakes, it's largely because of your midfield is too far up or losing balls or a wrong pass. It's always that. I'm not saying all centre backs are perfect. We've seen terrible ones as well,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
maybe I think the team is not cohesive. I think as we speak.
Fair, fair, fair. But Florian Wirtz, though, like he is showing his worth slowly. I mean, I really like him as a player.
Another way to say is also that other players are not doing well, so we see him holding the ball a lot more,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly.
the system they are playing now.
But speaking of which, right? Okay, so we talk about Liverpool's defense and all that stuff. So before I get into my next question, I just want to iron out comments before the Bournemouth and Liverpool game. Yeah. So here goes. I'm going to read this comment now. So excuse my French because these were word for word, right? So a Liverpool fan actually said, "What fucked up formation is this?" Right? He continues by saying, "How long more does Liverpool need to suffer under Slot?" Number 3, he also continues by saying that he brought up, okay, so when he brought up about the formation, I mean, I backed the formation up, right? To a certain degree. I'm not sure what Shariff would have to say. So, for the first time, if I'm right, the first time that Slot decided to play a 4-2-2-2, very dragon pressing. These are the kind of formations where I remember Ralph Ragnick actually brought into play, right? He played the 4-2-2-2. But of course, this particular Liverpool fan just like after that he responded by saying, "There, you like this formation, what?" So yeah, I mean that's just a bit of banter on Liverpool. I just thought of bringing the comments out. However, leading to my next question, right? Considering the formation, maybe it's not just the formation, but did Liverpool's defensive errors cost them the 3 points, despite having possession? In your opinions,
I
Oh, yeah, let's see the
feel
defensive.
defensive mistakes are parts and parcel of the Premier League. You force mistakes. Good teams force mistake out of their opponents. Look at the
Football is everywhere.
look at the United Arsenal game. The pass by Zubimendi. It's all about the pressing. It's all, forcing mistake out of opponent is a tactical approach.
I mean, it is part of
It's the
football.
Premier League for you guys.
I know. I think it's
cannot-
football in general.
Exactly. You cannot point out mistakes as like a point where even when tactically they were like supreme. That's how I feel. Lah.
I see.
Also,
Okay.
I think I want to add to Kugan. I think it's mistakes and glorious moments are football actually. So this
put.
is how this is in between these two.
Correct.
I think Liverpool tried to you don't fix something which is ain't broken, so they tried to fix and add a lot of new stuff and everything. So I think that
Very familiar quote, huh? When you say you can't fix things that's broken, huh? So we will save that part for Shariff. So I mean, what a defeat! Of course, I mean, very very entertaining game, lah. Really, lah.
it makes a lot of people happy, right, when Liverpool lose.
Yeah, which leads to but of course, I mean that's just a bit on our coverage on the Bournemouth and Liverpool match that ended 3-2. So I do understand. So this is for Kuhan lah, or maybe any one of you all want to jump in. Yeah, wait. So Newcastle did not have a good evening, as I mentioned earlier, right, in the monologue. So now, I mean, in respects of Champions League and squad rotations and all, I can understand, right? So, was creativity the real issue for Eddie Howe's side over the weekend?
Well, normally when Newcastle plays Aston Villa at James's Park, we eat them for breakfast. The last Aston Villa has ever won was 21 years ago. at St. James.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So they've
That
just
what a
made.
stat.
So they've just made history, man.
They made history. They made
Wow.
history. So I think Newcastle, they had a great Champions League night, qualified for playoffs. But with this game, there is some serious problem that we need to address, I think. Okay, we didn't have Bruno Fernandes,
Yes.
which was, I mean, imagine, man, for 4 years, he missed 9 matches for Newcastle
Okay.
United. That's like,
Okay.
he almost never get injured or whatnot. So we missed him in terms of creativity. But most importantly, I think there is some issue with the wingers in the squad. Some major issues involving Gordon and Barnes and Louis Hall. Newcastle were outstanding in their play. They just didn't get proper shots on target. Newcastle is the most the team which has the highest crosses in the whole of Premier League, but they don't score that much with the crosses actually. So this is and it comes because of Gordon, which is off form, and Barnes, which is our better player, wants to start in position, but Gordon doesn't want to play on the right hand side. And we have Ilanga, who is not coming. He's better now, coming to form. And we have Barnes, who's playing on the right-hand side, who's not inside forward winger, and he's not playing well. When you move him to the left, he plays well. So we have this issue where Anthony Gordon don't want to play on the right. And he plays better during the European night because the world is watching. And the reason is possibly because he wants to start for England. So we are seeing these issues happening for Newcastle. I feel that we are experiencing Eddie Howe has to make a decision: either drop Gordon completely, put Barnes your best player, your best scorer on the left, start with Langa no matter what, or wait for Murphy to come back. I don't know. Visa is making a lot of runs and the ball are not going through to him. There is a lot, and Villa scored a great goal actually. The first goal was a great goal, amazing goal, but early chances were for Newcastle. A lot of people Newcastle fans were saying that it's crap, the game didn't play well, but they played okay. These are teams you beat on a normal basis, and they played well. It's just that there's some cutting edge issues, and I feel that this Gordon, and it's similar with Saka's problem as well. There are people who are commenting about Saka's, and I mean, we'll talk about that later, about Saka being fish, not crossing the ball enough, and all these things. So the same thing Gordon is doing. So I think to sum up, in January, we will probably see Newcastle going round the league, coming out of Champions League, losing in the FA Cup against Villa, and coming out of the League Cup against Man City. So season can be over by end of January.
All right. All right.
Good, but it's already end of January, right?
Oh, sorry. February then. February.
Wow.
That's
stand by Banter. Yes?
Hmm.
I was checking the calendar when he said that.
By end of February, I think Newcastle will be just competing for probably the 7th or 8th position for the Conference League at best, I think.
Speaking of which, right? I mean, of course, considering Villa making history, with the win at St. James's, does this, in y'all's opinion, or maybe I should ask Shariff, do you think that result, Aston Villa beating Newcastle, solidifies Aston Villa as title contenders genuinely?
I somehow looking at the table after the results yesterday. I do think the Simpson theory will come true because I don't know this. I do not want City to win because if City win, right, then it's going to be like
boring league.
They did not try much, and Pep will get what his number
I
8
don't
or
want
9
him
or
to
something.
walk away with the league, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's last season, and like, oh god.
Yeah.
But it's not even confirmed that it could be Pep's last season.
Nah lah, he's just I just think it's going to be based on the outcome of the 115 charges, right?
He'll come out before that. The smart thing to do is now at the end of season come out.
Yeah,
Correct,
exactly. Walk
correct.
away with your head held high.
Exactly.
Yeah, once you know something, you smell something, okay, I'm out.
I held it already.
I want to say that. I think even Pep said it himself, right? That if he ever finds out if the board or who is lied to him or things like that, the door is his. He'll walk away.
Like he doesn't know anything that was happening.
Jokes aside, I mean, Pep almost. City or Pep assignment with City cost him his marriage. Right? That's how much he loved. Or maybe because it was supposed to end I think years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the thing is that the family asked to
Mm-hmm.
move, but then yeah, I guess
Mm-hmm.
the money and the
I
stability.
don't think it's the money. I think there is we are now living in the age of what they call it productivity porn to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
achieve this to that, so to reach the record, get the height.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think the era of Pep Guardiola doing this all, I don't think it's about the money. It's about the name and fame to this
I
one.
agree. I agree. I
I
agree.
also think that if you go back to the Arsene Wenger's and the Sir Alex Ferguson, they were not chasing for records per se. They just want to win. I think Mourinho is the one who started it. Came with 4 and the 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Three,
Numbers became
respect.
That's right.
so, yeah. So numbers become more important lah. So it's like you only do it for numbers, nothing more.
Yep.
Speaking
Yep.
about that, do you know that Pep Guardiola is only 10 titles behind Sir Alex?
Yep.
He's the
Yep. He's only 10 titles
only.
behind. Yeah.
I mean, if he won Champions League or Carabao Cup for then I do not know what charity
Mhm.
shield or something.
I don't think they
that
count Chelsea Shield lah.
maybe lah, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not also
The
lah.
same
So the
argument
more
is like,
successful manager is Sir Alex. Now it's been trailed by Pep
Mm-hmm.
by 10 titles.
okay. I mean, but I think it depends on how they count, because I know that Liverpool fan will count only the FA Cup and UCL and Carabao.
Not
Whereas
the
the MU
Thai
fan,
Cup, anything.
MU fan will include the Quality Shield as well.
How about Newcastle? Newcastle.
Yeah, are we talking about Newcastle now or what?
Well, it was until you guys brought up Pep and City and Chargers. 115.
But there's nothing much to talk. I think we will. Well, they're going to play PSG away. They
that's
win.
gonna be
They
a
qualify.
character.
That could be a
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, like this Newcastle team is not the Newcastle team we know of the past. There are some issues with players.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I think so far, I mean, on a positive side, it looks like Newcastle has been doing pretty good in the European stage.
Everyone is doing pretty good in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Every English team plays
Out-
well.
Exactly. I was just about to say that, right? That all the English teams that are in the Champions League are actually doing quite well.
Not only a Champions League, even Europa and Conference.
Exactly.
I have a theory if you guys would like to listen. See, I do think that English team does well
Mhm.
because it's kind of the Champions League format right now. It's kind of like a Super League itself, already, in my opinion, right?
Mhm.
You have the top 8 and top total slots that to qualify to the next round is 16. Compared when you're in a group,
Yep.
you only have 2. So now
Yes.
you combine all 16 groups and
Mhm.
multiply by 2, you can get any slot between that what do you call it, that
That
position
range
or
in
you know.
order to like qualify.
I really like if they did like the World Cup, right? So it's only the first 2, but then you have the
Mhm.
best 3 out of 4, right?
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
that makes it much more competitive
No,
because
but
Yep.
and that's why you see a lot of rotations and everything. Even Arsenal also rotated with Internazionale or something. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Is that again?
but who is that guy?
Internazionale.
Yes, make up a
I'm doing
name.
a Jamie Carragher.
So I think
Mm.
on the other hand,
Mm.
the group stage is also very limiting actually. It always favors the better teams and to qualify. You just have to win 3 games and then you're good.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
That's
So
true. That's true.
here, yeah. So that's why here you can see a lot of teams within that, and then you can see surprises happening, giant
Mhm.
killing happening as well.
Mhm.
So and then after that, you don't get to get revenge against the team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have extra 2 match. Sorry, you
Yeah.
have extra 3 match.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
So it's like previously it's like you only have a number of games, right? Which is 6,
Mhm.
and then you got to die try to get point, and that's where the
Mhm.
mathematical happen. And that's why you see big team dropped, right? Big team drops, right?
But it
And
doesn't matter, so right? Liverpool was champions of the league, and then what happened the next round? They lost.
Yep.
exactly, that's my point. That's my point exactly. That's my point as well.
I mean, it's called Champions League for a reason. It has to have a league, and then which you qualify
Mhm.
later on to play. I mean, that's when that means you have the league's champion and then the Champions League Cup champions.
Yep.
I know. It for me. I think the new format, at least for me, it takes out the competitiveness, right?
Yeah,
And
at
also,
least during the initial stage of games. The
correct.
moment
Yes,
it
yes.
goes to knockout, yes,
Of
it's
course,
game
knockout
on.
is definitely yes. The knockout where
Yeah,
things get
but yeah,
interesting.
you're right, Sharif. Like it really takes away that entire point.
But
But
you
again,
know,
like we still need to talk about why your theory about why English teams tend to do well in Champions League.
well,
Because again, they
who's
have depth. Yeah, at least
yeah,
for me,
they
they
have
have
that,
depth.
yeah.
Yeah, they have depth. They have the resource. And again, I think what Kugan said just now. I mean, you can
Which
go
one,
in
Kuhan or
and then
Kugan?
sorry, Kugan, the MUDN. Yeah, like what Kuhan was saying just now. You only need 3 games, right? And the most, at least for me, when I see you have 8 games and you only have 3 big teams, and then the other one is like winnable type of games, right? So I don't know, and you see that is why you see a lot of rotation happening. And you see during the first, at least maybe I remember, right, Kuhan, when during earlier stage, right, we were seeing, Newcastle, Barcelona, and everything, and during that time, you see a proper team being, being set up or being, on the field. But after the fourth and fifth, then you see the
Yeah,
rotation comes in.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine because the thing is that I feel that the previous format was favoring the top teams all the time actually, and you have to give it that the English has been dominated even that time as well. I mean, we see Liverpool won it, and then we see City winning it. So, but this time there is a more fair approach lah to the game. That means everyone has a chance. You have a playoff, and then the top 16 is normally a team which has been competing well, not teams which win first 3 games and then
Yep.
and then they go. I mean, there are many times you have seen that. I mean, most of the Portuguese team they just finish at the top 16.
Yep.
Not sure they'll even qualify to the top 16 this time. If you check the records, I don't think they qualified even last season in the top 16 team. But in the
True.
previous format, they would qualify.
Well, hence Shariff's statement, like it looks like another Super League altogether.
But they wanted it, right? They wanted it, right?
yeah,
But again, guys, we also should not forget that in the Champions League, teams attack the English teams. When English teams get attacked, they get really turned on, and
Yeah.
why anything could happen in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
You see the differences in points out of like the teams in the top 6 and below, and any teams could take out points from any teams because
I agree.
the moment, because also the Premier League has one of the best tactical analysis teams at the back end really doing their work, right? It's so data driven that the moment you do something new, your opponent has already figured out the next game, and the Premier League is compact. They make your life frustrating. There's a reason why the top 6, all the top strikers are struggling, at least for the past 6 or 7 game weeks, right? So the Premier League, it's, I think, the league on its own. I won't say it's the best league, but because in terms of, I think, technicality, when it comes to technicality, I still feel La Liga has a little bit of an edge.
You have only 2 teams there which can play football.
Technicality.
How about Atletico Madrid?
Okay, lah, 3. I like Atletico 3.
I think technicality, that's the reason why players from La Liga come to Premier League and then they adapt fairly fast, fairly quick, right? Because technicality.
I agree with you that technically they are good and there are players who can come to the Premier League and perform from La Liga. But I feel till when it comes to the competitiveness, the Premier League is
So yeah, competitiveness is
and the
without
problem
a doubt.
is these teams from La Liga, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they don't face Liverpool in one weekend, then play a big Champions League game, and then play again Chelsea in the next weekend. They don't have that. They will play Villarreal and Valdes and some kampung team, and then they'll play the next match.
Hey guys, did Premier League used to have a winter break at one point?
Once, I remember.
Once,
That
right?
was
Once.
way
Because
years
of
ago.
COVID or something. Because I think that makes a huge difference. I think winter breaks make a huge difference because dude, December and January, English teams die.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
literally die.
Well,
That is
not only the fixture congestions lah. So yeah, because of the festive period and all. Yeah.
That is also because of the Carabao Cup. No one
Yeah.
cared about the Carabao
Yeah.
Cup 10, 15 years.
And also another thing that also caused that sort of fixture congestion was when the Queen passed on. If you all remember that season when the Queen passed on, and they started crowding the games and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember that as well. So yeah, probably that was a couple of years back and all. So, but yeah, that's that, man. So that's that on. I know we deviated a bit from Newcastle, Aston Villa to pep talk 115, and we went to Champions League a little bit. So now the mega blockbuster match of the season, if I dare say,
Of the
where
season.
where
part.
we so we like to kind of save the best for last. You know, you can instill we are going to instill some banters along the way as well. But however, right? So Arsenal against Manchester United, where the match ended 3-2. United got the better, obviously, in some aspects. So but again, right? But again, what a match, right? For United recovering from a kind of a first half deficit, to win and all that stuff. I think to a certain extent, substitutes kind of made some difference for United. However, for Arsenal, I think, look, an early own goal by Licha Martinez, right? And we are waiting for Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes to have to probably say something about that. I don't know. So far, I didn't hear anything yet. And again, of course, the equalizer from Mikel Merino as well, right? Which, there was a funny incident that happened, if you all realize, during that Mikel Merino's goal, when the corner kick was taken from Saka, you realize Ben White and Declan Rice actually ran.
He went out and talked to the post. I was like, guys, what happened?
Exactly what was happening there, right? I mean, I think they probably missed the post and they thought they were running towards the goal, and how crowded it was and all that stuff, right?
But I won't be surprised if it's one of like Yover's dead ball tactic. He is a madman. That's literally thinking out of the box.
but yeah, I mean, but of course, given the fact that to a certain extent it was a pretty entertaining game, a good two halves, if I dare say. So Kugan, being an Arsenal supporter, I have to, as much as I want to,
Attack him first, huh?
Not attack don't say attack lah. I just got a bone to pick with Kugan a bit lah. So gauging the tactical setup, right?
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, do you think that United's tactical setup exposed Arsenal's defense vulnerabilities?
That was a completely different game by United. Absolutely. Did you see the moment Casemiro moved in the middle, in front of the defense, and he orchestrated the entire thing? And it was a completely different game. Second half. It was a game of two halves, man. Like, first half, Arsenal had control, had possession, and it was all right. Just for us to like completely collapse in the second half. Second half, United came up all guns blazing, completely deserving of the victory. Like 3 shots, 3 goals.
I disagree.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Because it was 2 outstanding goals.
Yeah, I agree. Of course.
I mean, 2 outstanding.
Borgu's goal, my lord.
Hey, Shariff, you have to give him. Remember what I told you? You should have a picture of Drogu in your wallet.
He caused the first goal. So,
but there was questions of handball, though.
I mean, it happens lah.
No,
I mean, it's ball to hand.
I think that wasn't a handball lah. That wasn't a handball.
Yeah.
I agree that wasn't a handball, but given the current VAR climate these days, I sometimes doubt myself. Actually, is it handball or not? The Maguire's one for me is a handball.
Yeah, I think Maguire's one was a handball.
And it wasn't given was also a surprising thing. So.
But Martinez giving Jesus a slap on his back. That too was missed.
So, Shariff, your thoughts on it, man? What do you think on the setup that exposed Arsenal's defense?
I think I kind of a little bit 50-50 over here, and I kind of see where Kuhan is coming as well, right? Because I don't see the Arsenal defense getting exposed, right? Because I'm just looking at the shots. Kuhan was saying that it was 3 shots and 4 created chances, right? So it
was left, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's Arsenal
basically, it is a Arsenal solid defense, but the first one was a mistake, right?
Zubimendi, my
And
God,
then
what was he thinking?
and then I don't know,
Yes.
maybe he thought he was Harry Maguire or something. I don't
No,
know,
no,
but
Well,
that's why I
well,
said in the Premier League, like that mistake happened because of off the ball movements. Like
yes,
you force mistakes out of your defense by
correct.
really pressing.
I mean, but he's
Uh,
a Spanish player,
Pressing
right?
Arsenal is a 50-50 thing lah. Like that's the reason why Arsenal perform well in the Champions League. You press them, oh they get excited.
Mm.
Like one thing, like completely out of the game, and you are
Mm.
at the business end of the other pitch, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then, like, it was for a neutral, for people who were hate watching that game. Oh, what a
Mm-hmm.
game to hate
Hey,
watch,
what?
man.
I
No,
agree. I agree.
because I think I just have to tell this out lah.
Mm-hmm.
MU's victory ruined my internet of today. I cannot go on Instagram. I cannot go anywhere. The memes are coming. I was stuck actually. I was like, what the hell is this, man? It's like all the memes of MU being amazing and great. But I just want to highlight one thing. MU comes up for the big games. I think the
Oh
real
yeah,
test is
Agree.
for the smaller games.
okay.
We will
Even though we did not, I mean, like United very rarely win against Arsenal for the past 5 years, at least at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the league. But then
Emirates. Yeah.
I've never seen an easy game for Arsenal. Like it's always like somebody scoring at the last minute, scraping through wins, like own goals.
Mm-hmm.
but to be fair, this is what United wanted by buying Cunha and Mbeumo. People who take the damn chances and finish it off, so they get a winning start actually. So I
What
think
a goal
Arsenal
by
got
Cunha,
that.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, man. What a
What
really?
goal,
a
man.
goal.
Yeah, what a goal.
What
But
a
on the other
goal.
hand, I also want to address that Arsenal also have a problem with Saka and Gyökeres. He is not crossing quickly enough. He's always pulling back, trying to play the middle ball. So this is a problem. Arsenal striker is like zero. Like he
Yep,
can't
yep, yep,
do it.
yep,
And
yep.
I mean they say Arsenal is what Corners FC or whatnot and everything, but yes, it's fine. But the thing is that I not for me to accept a team which is going to win the league,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to have
Without a
a
top scorer. Fair. I absolutely understand.
yeah.
I
I think
absolutely get
that's
it.
a problem. The whole right hand side is a problem. Madueke is back to Chelsea. Madueke. That's my take actually. They are playing for glory or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it, man. I don't know what do you think, Kupak? The Saka problem. You still think Saka is a big player where he has to start no matter what or whatever he's doing is
I
right?
mean, if you guys look at the stats, majority of our chances are created from the right,
The right hand
where,
side,
where
yeah.
Saka plays,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That was very apparent in the past seasons. This season, it has like blipped a bit, given that Saka has also missed out a game. But then we also need to remember Bukayo Saka is not an out and right winger.
Winger.
He is
Yeah.
always a guy who cuts inside. Yes, but he's not out and right winger. He always cuts inside. He is more like an inverted winger of sense,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Then how are you going to
So
get the ball to Gyökeres?
that's the thing. You see, Gyökeres, okay, my thought is just that if Gyökeres would have started the game, it would have been a completely different game. Yes, his goal scoring antics he probably has the worst numbers.
You should have passed the damn ball when he got
Yep.
the
Yeah,
chance. Instead of trying to
yes.
flash
But
it
what
right.
what Gyökeres does is just that he drags defenders away.
I
He
agree.
Mm. Yeah.
he but 2-3 players mark him. There is a crazy stat that I mean he is one of the most actually the number one closely marked front man in the league, not even Haaland, right? So that gives our wing players way more spaces. That's the reason why we have midfield players, Marino coming out with the goals. We have Declan
Yeah.
Rice coming out with the goals. We have players coming in, going into the box at the last minute, scoring goals, right? Because of plays like because of Gyökeres, like completely drag it. So Matt, I do feel Arteta had a blip when it comes to his tactical selection. He was tactically second half outclassed by Carrick.
And may I add? And may I because
Outclass
now
or just the sorry, just one. I just want to just add one thing before you start. Outclass or it's just two brilliant goals.
Strong word lah. Okay.
I think that's really. Eh. Okay, before that, why is Arsenal fans so insecure?
Normal, bro. Normal,
This is
bro.
bad.
We went through years and years of PTSD.
No, but they got booed.
Against Arsenal fan.
They booed their own team coming out, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
And I kind of not echo, but you see on Astro Supersport, right? Aaron Ramsey was actually saying that Arsenal made it much more harder for themselves.
Oh, yeah, they did. In
Yeah.
fact, the entire January, that's the theme. But yeah, I mean,
Make it
you
hard.
look at the game that way. We perform a little bit better in December. Come January, classic Arsenal. Like you look at Januaries for the past 3 seasons, it has always been bad. I'm not sure. Just that last year we went to Dubai and somehow we came back all guns blazing. Maybe it's the warm weather,
Yeah.
maybe it's the shawarma. I have no idea.
No, but I also feel that this is just a one-off game, and the onus is on MU to see how they do against the smaller teams, and the onus is also on Arsenal to see whether they bottle it or they're winning it by Christmas, because that's how the fans think, right? Win it by Christmas by 10-point lead.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's crazy. That's the other way. But again, my hot take is just that I think we still have a strong chance of winning the league.
Of course,
That is
you're
just
number
a
one in the
bit-
table. You
Yeah.
chance for you to lose it actually.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
And Shariff, you were wanting to say just now?
Sorry, Shariff. Complete cut and bitter.
I totally forgot the train of my thoughts, but it's okay. Let's continue.
All right. Yeah, so just another thing as well. Okay, so Kugan, you were talking about, like, you see, they started with Trossard on the left,
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Jesus, and then Saka on the right. So do you think it's okay? It's a bit hard. If probably I'm going to ask this question, but is it due to, can they be trusted? Can this lethal attacking lineup be trusted in games like this, or do you think the next or the upcoming games that maybe Arteta might want to reconsider?
I still don't understand why Martinelli is not starting in the league. Yes,
Yep.
he
I
is a
actually
good
agree
impact
with you.
player. But then Trossard this season has been okay lah. For the past 3-4 games, he has been a bit of like a drop in form, but he's been so good. Trossard is actually, I mean, tactically he is way more intelligent than Martinelli. Martinelli is the most un-Brazilian Brazilian that I've ever seen in my life.
Most Brazilians are un-Brazilian now.
The most
Now, okay, fair. That's a fair statement. But then, like Martinelli, oh my god, like he just rely on his face.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
surprised he didn't start. And given the fact that I don't know if I dare ask this as well, Kugan. The 4 immediate substitutions Arteta made.
Not good.
Now, as a fan watching it, is it more tactical or was that to?
I think it was more
I don't know.
reactionary than technical. It was way more reactionary than anything.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with panic, huh?
Nothing. I mean, like
Just-
Marino was a good sub lah.
I think I agree with you. Marino was a good sub. I was watching the game and I was telling
Like
my friend as well.
Kai Havertz has a bit of like setback in his injury. I think
Mhm.
we gotta go Marino 9 again.
I mean, I'm still questioning why Kai Havertz, but anyway, you brought his name up, right?
No,
That's
that
another-
is a player they wanted actually. To play
you're right
that
as well.
in between the midfield and striker, false
True.
number 9 and all that. So,
True. But Shariff, I have now one question for you. I mentioned this stat before you joined in, right? That when it took 35 games in 14 months for Ruben Amorim to win back-to-back games, yeah. But as opposed to Michael Carrick, 2 games in 9 days and he has won back-to-back, right? Do you think winning these 2 back-to-back? I know it's too early to ask, but
it's not too early. It's the best time to ask.
Yeah. No, or maybe okay. You know what? Yeah, I rephrase that. I'll just go straight to it. Right? Could these 2 results be United's turning point this season to potentially finish at top 4?
I think I agree.
Mathematically.
I think I agree with one. Either I don't know Kuhan or Kugan was saying, right?
Mhm.
I think the next game with MU it's the determining, right? Because
Yeah.
MU is always,
Moments.
rob
FC.
the rich. Yeah, moments. Yeah, rob the rich, and then and then they lost their poor, right? So on top of that, I feel next will Fulham. Let's see how they deal with low block team, right?
Yep.
And now I remember what I want to say. I think in the game just now, in the game last night, this is another thought of I also want to see what Kugan also thinks as well. The managers like Arteta, the Peps, and maybe Unai Emery, right? I do feel at a certain point you check the rice always. You get what I'm trying to say? When you cook the rice, you always check the pot always.
I was thinking
You
of
know what I
Declan
thought or
Rice.
not? They always have to check what Declan Rice is doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
no, Declan Rice, not Declan Rice.
Oh my god.
bro,
If
that
I
is
can put the
such a
analogy right,
Malaysian
right?
analogy. I got lost for a while.
Yeah. Let me rephrase, right? When you
Like,
cook
that's a good
something,
one, though. You always got to check the rice. Like, always careful. Always make sure that your
yeah,
players are not
just let
overexpressive.
it
Always make
cook.
sure you're
Just let
holding
it
the
cook.
line.
Just
If
let
you
it
put the
cook.
perfect amount of water, it's supposed to work clockwork.
Exactly. I know now we are discussing about rice, but my analogy is sometimes I feel after 5 years with the team, you got to just let your players cook. And I felt, and
Bro, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I thought with the rice analogy, and you got to let the players cook.
yeah, that's why I'm coming at. Sorry for the confusion.
But
Because
I also feel that coming to the rice analogy, that some like Pep Guardiola, he wants his rice only a certain way.
that's the
Correct.
thing, and
Correct.
that is why it comes to what you were saying as well, about Gyökeres, about Saka. They even Madueke and everything. When these players comes in, they bring a certain type of dynamic in their game, you see. But then when you are trying to put them into a system, this is also where I heard certain people were saying that when you have a good team, you don't need a perfect system. You just need the players to play together.
Like Real
But
Madrid.
when you building a, let's say for example, like the Bournemouth, like Brentford and everything,
You need the system.
you you don't have, all due respect to the players, they are of course way better than us, but you have not the same standard of players that you have, top six.
Elite lah.
But then you have a very, very good system. Like Bournemouth, you have the chaos theory and everything. Brentford, you
Yes.
have the direct passes and all those stuff. Brighton, you have a system. But when you go to the cities and also to the Arsenal, and then for me, City could win at least 3 Champions League, but they already won one because again, you check the rice
The
in the
rice.
pot too often, right? You before it can be.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I see. It's right when City was playing Chelsea in their first Champions
yes,
League,
yeah.
they for some reason,
There's
I
some
mean,
reason
Pep made the players so wide to play against Chelsea, and that wasn't a
suddenly
great
you are
Chelsea
trying.
team.
Yeah, exactly. And that is why in the game itself, I don't feel when Patrick Dorgu scored, Arteta should react anything or change the thing, and that's why you see a two
Yeah,
games or
yeah.
second. I feel MU grew in the game
With
because
confidence,
again
yeah.
feel this the energy set. I think one person said that as well, right?
You can
You
feel
know,
it, right?
when you're attacking and suddenly you change your, yes, I remember certain players said in a podcast or in a football show, right? When you're playing and then you feel like, okay, you know what, you really feel that this game is yours, you just need to attack. Suddenly your manager changes someone with a defensive player, and then you get confused. Oh, wait a minute, should we play a little bit defensive? Wait, are we too attacking? You get it put off their
Well,
rhythm.
but
And I felt that happened in the Arsenal and United game, where Carrick let its players cook and Arteta was forcing his players to play into a system.
so
And I just want to end one thing. Everyone thought when Dogru has like a knock or injury, Carrick will bring in a defensive player.
No, he
he just
didn't.
played it.
He
Exactly.
didn't.
He brought in a Zico, and that caught even Arteta off guard as well.
Yep.
And yeah, sometimes you got
Take the
to have a
risk.
good rice. You got to just leave the rice cooked, man.
This is very similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why he got the job. That's why he got the job, right? For the first
No,
11 games.
I mean, there is two two world of thoughts going on. One thought is, as you're saying, the structure. You're too rigid. You're following the system. This is how I want a player to play. This is a blueprint. The word blueprint becomes very important. Another one is that I have a team which they can play. And I think, of course, Carrick don't have the talented players like what Real Madrid might have, like what Xabi Alonso was trying to bring structure that the Real Madrid player don't like. So, and he allowed the player to play and they got the results. So I don't think there is one good system, a sure system to win, but it depends on the moment you apply them actually.
Yes, exactly. One good example I see is Ancelotti. Sometimes you see very relaxed. Okay, I know he believes that the team that he's let them, and sometimes yes he goes to his Christmas tree or his 3-4-2-1
But it's very basic. It's not very like
yeah,
I mean,
not like,
the man did well for Everton as well,
true.
Yeah.
He did.
And in Everton, he did not let them cook. He did not how he managed, like AC Milan and Real Madrid. He has a system, and then he used the players that
Can
is
fit.
in his disposable into a system that he thought that can make them competitive, and
Yeah.
that's a sign of good manager, right?
And he brought a world class Rodriguez inside.
Yes, yes. So just to put inside. So this is. I think this is my thought, and that is why maybe Kugan, we always see us, and I like we are speaking about Arsenal because side note, right, because all Arsenal fans are asking us to speak about Arsenal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But we're not sure which Arsenal fans.
I mean, our subscribers and also even TV shows as well, and that is why you see this type of what they call that, like the Christmas winning team, and then suddenly when it comes to January, when the things gets a little bit closer to it, and that is where I do feel Arteta always feels that something is missing, something needs to be tweaked, something needs to be done, and I see that almost similar with Pep as well, and that's why I brought up the Champions League. If he yeah.
That is good. I just want to add one thing. I think one of the advantages where Arsenal have this season is the lack of protection goalkeepers are having. So that is also where tinkering comes in, actually, right? You really think, and then you see that there is a
Gotta play
loophole
it quick.
that you can actually exploit, and hence the corner thing, actually, right?
Yeah.
And last I have got to say, and this might be controversial. I really want because I really waited to ask Kugan this as well.
Well, before you ask that,
Oh,
also
yeah, you guys
there were
studied
some
the facts.
controversial ones as well we covered. But anyway, shoot.
Okay. I know everyone is asking that can Man United go or everything will Man United, can Man United, is this a turning point for Man United? Even Matt, you asked that, right? But I do believe that this loss will have consequences to Arsenal. I really believe. I'm not saying from a Man United fan.
As
I
of
feel this.
football, yeah.
Yes.
Not as Arsenal hater.
No, I don't as well. I don't know because maybe correct me if I'm wrong, because I see this happen during the Invisible season as well. They were like even though they lost with MU, they were still like miles away winning the league. But it was because they lost the Invisible title, and things suddenly got disarray. I don't know. Next game, it's not. I feel yes, it's of course important for Man United with Fulham, but I think next game with Arsenal, I really would like to see. Maybe I'm wrong, right?
I
But
think
I feel that that's going to be a drop of points there,
I think you
now
got
it's 4 points, right?
yeah, I think you got a point that but the invisible thing they wanted that so badly, and then that game was a terrible game. If there
Yeah,
was
that game, like United
just
wasn't supposed to win to begin with. Let's
please,
not even go there. Come on.
Yep.
no, let
Yeah.
me finish. Kugan, I'm on your side here. I'm on your side here, Kugan. So for the viewers, for the viewers, please go and watch that match. And if you
Yeah.
are watching current football, you would know how MU won that match.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That game MU would not have the 11 men on the field. They would have not been given the penalty. That goal would have stood. Jose Antonio Reyes was treated like an animal. So please go and watch actually. So we have to be grateful for VAR, a modern game. So
There was a point
Well,
where
it's-
Sol Campbell did not speak to Rooney for almost 2 years because of his dive, bro.
There you
so
go.
I mean,
He got
only
emotionally impacted.
but the thing is using. I mean, I don't like it. I'm not the
I agree.
first.
But Kugan, what are your thoughts? Because I do feel that this might have a consequences, Kugan.
Yeah.
What are you, would it just another bleep or something?
So I think this is just a blip. You see, I think we, like what Kuhan mentioned, right? We saw this coming. We
Okay.
saw this coming. I mean, given that any game against United never been easy, that's one part, right? I was expecting a draw, right?
Wow.
I was expecting a draw.
Really, I was
Yeah,
expecting
yeah,
a
I was expecting a draw. Like, we were not fluid in attack at all.
Yeah.
Champions League was a different ball game. We covered it, right? But I feel this
We had
year,
more chances.
yeah, this year we have better depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the team has grown in terms of a different level of maturity, right? This year, if you realize, we bounce back. It's a trend that never happened in previous years' Arsenal teams. Even last year, when we lose a game, the next game we will go on a streak of losing. But this year, yes, football may not have been the prettiest, but we are still the second highest goal scorers in the game, in the league, right? We still have the best defense. The system is that, yes, Shariff is rigid. Arteta should let his players cook. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Arsenal fans are a reactionary bunch. You go to any social media, these guys are the most reactionary bunch
I thought,
ever.
I thought Liverpool fans are a different level, but Arsenal fans, like, they can boo their own team, man. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
bro.
come
So
on,
it's
man.
it's so reactionary. Like, if you guys are active on Reddit, there is a sub called Arteta Out. Bro,
Wow, really?
Arteta has brought. If you have that sub active first 2 years of his stint, I absolutely understand. Right? 5 years, the man has got us competing at all fronts consistently. Has done well in the transfer window,
Yep. I
leading
agree.
before the last weekend, leading the league by
They're
7
building a
points.
squad.
Building a squad, everybody's trust him, but then they are so reactionary that I think the entire narrative of doom and gloom is all around the fans. I think as a camp, the Arsenal camp, they are steady. This year they are really steady. Like, they know for a fact that nowadays we consider, okay, United game was a completely different game, but like nowadays we concede goals. Okay, we go back, we start back. A lot of comebacks wins this year, right? So I don't think it is gonna have major consequences. Yes, confidence is hit. We won't be back the next game all guns blazing, but it wouldn't be like a 5-game drop of points anymore. Lah. I think we have passed that.
Yep. Agreed.
I think they're doing well in the Champions League as well, leading the table, right? Which is not necessarily a good thing sometimes, but
Yeah, exactly. Going back to the Liverpool example.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but of course, to stay tuned to the teams that will potentially or possibly bounce back. So, we have so Arsenal has Leeds United.
Yeah, I was
this
about to
week.
say that.
And
Yeah. So
I want to since when beating Arsenal is like winning the league for a lot of MU fans. A lot of them today, everyone was wearing just outside.
which
Did you all see now?
United
How
fans?
many MU fans are wearing
It's a
jerseys outside
rivalry,
tonight?
bro.
I was
It's
like,
the biggest
what the-
rivalry.
You
Huh?
must
It's a rival.
yes, correct. You must
Can I-
understand that our JC is too clean for a couple of seasons.
Okay.
So we have to take it out.
And then today, in one restaurant, I saw 4 players wearing it, and I'm looking at them like, why?
Where were you guys all this while?
Yeah. So
But then it's the biggest rivalry for a reason, lah. Sir Alex and Arsene
Yeah.
Wenger, they hit each
Yeah,
other. And then you have Klopp and Pep hugging each other, praising each other in press conferences. And
Well, they're different generation
Bro,
of
but
manager.
gone are
Ah.
those days, man.
Michael Carrick,
Gone are
Arteta now
those
have
days, man.
I like what you say, Kugan.
Michael Arteta, I mean, Arteta and
no, I mean, like,
They did.
No,
They did at the before the match.
the foundations that they have actually set. I mean,
Yes.
but again, like, Carrick was managing Middlesbrough like a couple of seasons ago. Like, let's not even compare him to like a seasoned pro like Arteta, right?
Yep,
He's
I
just
agree.
starting, and I
Correct.
think he is.
I think that Arsene Wenger and the Sir Alex Ferguson was a proper rivalry, but I think
Proper, that's what I say. It's proper.
but you cannot compare with the Pep, Guardiola and Klopp. They were good towards each other and they had respect, which was a different generation actually. I
Yeah,
don't think Arteta had the respect to go to Michael Carrick and treat him like a enemy like that.
You saw what Emery did or not? Like completely like didn't want to shake Arteta's hand and say that, oh, it was too cold.
Yeah.
You guys did Emery wrong.
That's another
My
man who
bets.
play like he's possessed every time against Arsenal.
And he
Well,
gets the result.
Yeah, he
I
does,
got
he
to
does.
go. I got to say this. My bet is on Aston Villa this season. Let's see.
Oh,
I mean, I would like, given that Arsenal fans, well, not the greatest. Let's maybe I'll join you, Shariff.
So, but of course, yeah. So just to iron out the upcoming matches. So as mentioned earlier, Leeds United will be taking on Arsenal at Ellen Road. We also have Chelsea against West Ham. Yeah, Chelsea against West Ham. Let's see. This will be a very interesting game. Liverpool against Newcastle United on Sunday at 4 a.m. Sunday early morning. Yeah, and of course,
all these early morning games.
yeah, the early morning games, right? And of course, as Shariff mentioned earlier, Man United against Fulham at Old Trafford, Spurs against Man City, and wow, Spurs against City, man. Let's see, will this determine?
Like Spurs is
Oh yeah,
just
did we cover
so
Spurs?
weird,
Did
man.
you guys
Yeah,
discuss
we have-
about
Spurs
Spurs?
is weird.
We-
It's like, guys, there are chances of them beating City. Yeah, they were poor,
Mhm.
but then
Mhm.
they always show up against like big teams.
Against
Mhm.
Do you remember which team again? Another like does the same thing as well?
So, of course, boys, we have reached the end of this show. And of course, to those who have tuned in, we thank you for your support. Thank you for those who have commented. And obviously, look, stay tuned to our upcoming episodes where we will be covering more and more topics on the matches that I've mentioned. And of course, Kugan, thanks, man, for joining the pod. And we look forward to see you in the next coming ones as well. And those who are new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications as well. So once again, this is me, Matt, your host, signing out alongside with Shariff and Kuhan. Until the next episode, stick around. Peace out. Cheers.
Wah, angkat tangan tak cakap.